And hello everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. I'm going to apologize in advance for my mouse drawing skills. I came home and I discovered that yesterday that my lovely wife had decided to do me a favor, and she brought over a helper and they completely cleaned out my office and got it organized. Of course, I was absolutely horrified. Like, where did you put everything? Of course, my wife and I have been married long enough now that, I wasn't too worried about stuff that she would find. We can talk through it, but there's some things I can't find, like my drawing pen and some other things, and so I'm drawing with my mouse today. So two positions that we have on right now are calls in Boeing and Nvidia that I elected to hold overnight. We are about, so the all-time, or at least the 52-week high here in Boeing is 361.45. You can see we closed at 356.55, and we're continuing to go bid after hours. But tomorrow I'm going to be watching this to see if if we test the high and get rejected, or we push through this high and just explode higher, which I think is possible. This market, had we not had the whole short volatility, flash crash, and the market had been going higher, Boeing would be trading, probably closer to 380 right now, and it needs to play a little catch up. Now, I'm not saying that that reflects the entire market. I'm just saying that that reflects Boeing specifically. Another one here, though, is Nvidia. Another one we picked up today, and that one's kind of a mess. Let's drill down to a 5-minute chart here. And I didn't really like the close here. We did pick this one up, but keep in mind, again, all-time high is 249.27. We closed at 246.50. We got a 5-minute squeeze, and then again tomorrow I'll be watching this just to see, all right, if we test this and push through it, do we then puke, or is this going to turn into something much bigger? So my plan for both of these stocks is that as we get ideally to and slightly through and get some volume into those new highs, take off half the position and then just start trailing a stop from that point. All right, so one thing I want to talk about here too is sometimes the best trades that you're ever going to take are the ones you pass on. And let me give you an example today in Google. So I was watching Google, and of course the stock market today. Google gapped up, and Google, from a daily perspective, is one of the less stellar charts right now. I mean, its highs are way up here, and it's trading way down here, whereas Amazon, is already back near its highs, and so is Boeing, and so is Nvidia. So I was watching Google this morning, and then as we were kind of going along here and it started to come off, okay, I was like, okay, maybe I could get some puts on this. And so I was going to watch for is say, and I was a little late here. I was thinking like, well, maybe I could get some here and it'll fill its gap. But what I was really thinking is that if this thing really takes out the lows and it's going to be a signal that the market's rolling over, because the yen is rallying, right? It's like the yen is rallying here and the market's going to crash. So which one to get here. So I'm looking at Google, and about right here, okay, I started looking at the short side, and I posted in the room like, hey, I'm going to buy some puts on Google. I'm looking to buy some puts on Google. And then it just cratered. I was actually trying to get filled here. I couldn't get filled. And then I was like, all right, I'm canceling this order. I'm gotta grab some of this. Okay. And at this point, Carolyn is like, JC, yo, be careful. I've got some levels coming up at 1068, okay, and like 1067, and that is very, very strong support. And I'm like, what? And so I stood back there. I'm like, all right. And I was like, and it came down here and slammed into those levels, and then from there it just bounced. Oops. There. So now you can kind of see the whole thing. So we came down. I was looking to short, and I could see this here, and I'm looking to short it, and I couldn't get filled, and I was going to chase it, and then Carolyn's like, no, don't do it. I've got levels right there, and the levels held, and we rallied from there. Now, I'd like to say that I bought it there. I didn't. Instead, I bought Boeing and Nvidia because I like those charts better. But now, of course, genius being in hindsight, first of all, what saved me here is I didn't load up on a bunch of long puts, because I would have been destroyed. I mean, I would have gotten stopped and stuff like that, but it's like, so instead of buying those long puts, I bought calls on Nvidia and I got calls on Boeing, and those worked out great. So Carolyn's levels are great for things like that. So if you aren't familiar with how Carolyn does this, she is the foremost expert in her field at what these high probability kind of cluster levels that just stop prices out of nowhere. And she is going to be doing a class on this. If you go to simplertrading.com/limit, you'll come to this page. That's Fibonacci price analysis. Identify high probability turning points in any time frame while limiting risk. And that's a big thing with her, is that you don't have to get into a trade and have like these huge stops if you know how to time it correctly. So she's going to be doing this class this Saturday, February 17th, and then she'll have some live trading dates as well. And a few highlights here. I won't read all of these. You can dive in here and look at them, but there are, I love this one, how to quickly and easily find objective low-risk entries in existing trends, a spot where trends are likely to reverse. That's what happened to me in Google today. Why major turning points tend to occur at Fibonacci price clusters, okay, not levels, clusters, and how adapt your position size and strategy accordingly. Keys to picking the proper highs and lows for analysis. And of course a lot more. So if you're not familiar with this, this is when we talk to people who've been in our room for a while, it ends up always being a core kind of part of everybody's trading plan once they understand how these work. When you see Carolyn doing the work in the room, it can be confusing. So this is where she shows you not only how it's done, why it's important, but how to do it yourself if you want to. The strategy class is a nominal investment of $197, and again, this is something that will get paid for in 1 or 2 trades. And if you'd like to really up your game, there's also going to be a live trading session where with also a couple of them with Danielle and Bruce, and both of their strategies are very complementary to this. Okay, this is going to be a fantastic class if you really want to take your learning and up to the next level and kind of get all the pieces of the puzzle together. This is what you want. All right, have a good night, and looking forward to trading tomorrow, and we'll see you at the next update.